Mr. Henry Kwek.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I raised in support of the ACA today. At first glance, the ACA affects a small number of Singaporeans. On average, 400 children are adopted each year and half of them are born in Singapore. However, for the new parents who choose to adopt, for the children who are adopted, and for the biological parents of the children put up for adoption, the laws and processes of adoption has immense impact to them. Therefore, I'm heartened that MSF is proposing a set of comprehensive and timely amendments. In particular, I'd like to commend three particular provisions in this bill. One, regulate the key parties of the adoption sector to ensure that they are well run and to deter them from commodifying the adoption process. Second, implement safeguards against the applicants convicted of serious crimes. Children who are put up for adoption deserve to belong to supportive and healthy families. Third, prioritizing applicants with a strong nexus to Singapore. Notwithstanding my support for the many parts of the bill, I would like MSF to also clarify, particularly on the provision that allows for the judicial courts to dispense with the consent of a relevant person, who is usually a biological parent, to a children being put up for adoption if certain thresholds are met. The intentions behind this provision is sound. After all, if parents or guardians are deemed by the courts to be extremely ill-suited to discharge their duties, then surely there must be a legal process where society can protect the child by giving the child the opportunity to live outside bad or even dangerous influences of his or her biological parents or guardians. However, I do hope that MSF can provide the public clarity on the government's consideration as well as the steps that the government agencies would take before the commencement of the court process. Will our social workers inform the biological parents or guardians at the earliest possible time if the social workers deem them to be heading down a path where the state takes away their children from them? And if so, how will the social workers inform these biological parents or guardians? I'm fully aware that there are circumstances such as serious abuse and neglect where the state has to refer cases to the courts immediately and at the first occurrence of such abuses. But there are also circumstances that are less clear. Now, as fellow parliamentarians here, we all have our encounters with families that are embroiled in serious family disputes, violence, potential or actual abuses. There are also parents that we see who are struggling with children with uncontrolled behaviors. What I worry about is that if the public is unclear on how this provision will be implemented, then some parents in families that require deep intervention from our social workers may withdraw from cooperating with MSF out of a misplaced fear that their children will be taken away from them without the consent. We must also consider the issue on the other side. There are also parents who are engaging in self-destructive behaviors or lifestyle. These parents may not be well informed about the law, such as the ACA. By informing them of the consequences of their actions early on, it is possible that the fear of losing their parents or their children will inspire them to take a different path. As such, I hope MSF can provide some clarity on this matter, even though I acknowledge it's not an easy balance to strike. Lastly, I would like to ask MSF on how the government decides on whether children are put up for adoption versus fostering, and will the new ACA lead to any changes when the government makes such decisions? And will some children being currently fostered be also have a chance to be adopted? And will the foster parents be informed or consulted? In conclusion, the ACA contains many good provisions, and I fully support the ACA. Thank you.